Oh, hello, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I hear that you are having a little bit of second thoughts about Suno, especially those of you who hear all the buzz and all the fanfare about Suno Studio, but you don't know what to do with it because you're not a musician. I understand. Let's jump into Suno and let me explain what all the fanfare is about. Let's go to Suno Studio. Suno Studio plus Suno version 5 are some of the most interesting and enjoyable tools to work with in this day and age of ours. But I know lots of you are on the fence because you're not musicians and you're like, well, I've got Suno 4.5. Now they're asking me to upgrade to get version 5. Why do I need to upgrade? Those of you who are on 3.5, you may be wondering why you need to upgrade. Trust me, 5 is really good. Now, Studio is a whole different ball game. When you click on Studio, let me explain what's going on. In Suno Studio, you have the option of creating more dynamically like a boss, like a producer, right, in the production seat. When you come into Suno Studio, first of all, there's a lot of activity. It's a bit of a chaotic layout, I have to be honest. And there are different layouts. You got horizontal, you've got vertical. You may be a little bit confused, and I can understand why the confusion. But let me explain what's going on. Each of these colorful bars is an instrument or a vocal on the track. So you've got vocals, you've got synth, you've got effects, you could have percussion and all that. And if honestly you are not a musician, if you don't play an instrument, you've never worked as a producer, you've never manipulated audio across timelines, this could get you lost. You could be at sea. And even if you understand what is going on, the creative process requires a lot of musical intelligence and brain power. So if you've been playing with Suno 3.5, 4.5, maybe even Suno 5, but you come into Studio and you're like, I don't know, what's this? Look, you're not alone, okay? This is a video to give you the all clear. You do not have to subscribe to Suno Studio. I'm just telling you the honest truth. I don't want you to waste your money or your time. If you are not musically inclined, like playing an instrument, you're not a producer, you're not a mix engineer, you're not a mastering engineer, you have never created with other creatives, and you don't play anything instrumental, it could be a challenge for most people. Now, for those of you who are adventurous and say, well, it's technology, I'm going to try, Phil, more power to you. Go ahead, knock yourself out on that stuff. It's all good. But I don't want to waste your time. And why am I talking like this? The reason why I'm telling you not to bother with Suno Studio is, as a musician, as a producer, as a mix and mastering engineer, I have come in here and I can tell you, while it has a lot of promise, tremendous promise, there are certain aspects that are emerging, and until they get to the final cooking point, you could be quite frustrated in here. You could be frustrated trying to align what the system comes up with your original audio that you recorded onto the timeline. You could also be a bit frustrated if you're used to getting reverb plugins and delays, compression. You don't have that in here right now. So if you're looking for a finished DAW that just does cradle to grave everything, this is not the DAW for you, and even for you experienced musicians. When you come in here, you got to understand it's the creativity that's the value. Okay? I love creating in here, but it's not for everyone. You could get into create and you could feel like banging your head on a brick wall because things are just not aligning and you don't know what to do. For example, over here you have the metronome. right? You can turn the metronome on or off. You can adjust the metronome to be manual or to be driven in other ways. And maybe you're trying to start the metronome and you don't understand why it's not starting. It's because you've not armed the track. There's so many things that could frustrate a beginner in here. I'll just tell you straight up. And then when you come over here to export, you can export either a full song, you can export multi-track, but if you've never done anything with multi-track, you might as well just stay in Suno 5. Don't waste your time coming to Studio feeling frustrated. I know some of you might be feeling left out and you want to join in the fun, but there are certain parameters here that you need a little bit more musicianship to enjoy. Okay? Let me go over the features one by one. We're going to start on a new project. When you open a new project, you have the option of dragging an existing audio. So an existing audio, let me look for an existing audio I did last night. Let's see, what's this? All right, I got to put my headset on. But this is my alto recorder, okay? This is a recording I did last night on my alto recorder, which is in the woodwind family. Flute. So I could take my recorder and just boom, drop it right in here. So if you don't have an instrument or a vocal or something to import, well, maybe you could look for something that you've done in the past from Suno, but it really works nice when you've got something organic that you've recorded and you want to experiment to see, what can Suno do to top that? So next thing you would do is you would click on the add track, you would add a track, and then you could choose this area, right, from here all the way to where it ends, and you could then say, I want to add percussion. And the style, you can just say, let's see, let me give you a spin around my website. So, you know, if you go to philc.net, I have a lot of environments here. So if you want to experiment and do what I'm doing, follow me to my website. It's philc.net. Let's move this away from here for a second. And let's bring in philc.net. So go to philc.net, go to environment generator, look for, okay, let's do Neo Soul. Let's just take everything as is, right? And let's say I want something worldish. Hit generate prompt. Let's copy that. And let's go back in here. And now for this, I'm going to prompt it to say Neo Soul. So I got to be careful. You see, this is part of where you got to watch it. You don't want to ask it to create so many instruments. So you could say a chill and relaxed Neo Soul drum track, okay, with a steady, punchy groove. All right, say done, and the next step is to just go ahead and create. It's gonna cost me 10 credits though. So for those of you who are very credit conscious, this is probably not what you want to do, because some people be like, I don't want to spend my 5 credits. Now you got 10 credits just for one instrument. You get what I'm saying? This is why I tell lots of you who don't have enough credits, it will get you winded very quick. So let's go ahead and play what this has done. the logic of the system, you can see, even though I asked it to give me drums, it added in a bass. It was unsolicited. I didn't want it to add in a bass, but it did. So there's a number of things I could do. I could remix this section, right? I could add a new instrument. So let me do that. Let me add one more instrument. So a new track, and let me show you what else you could do. You could just arm the track by first of all selecting an input. So if I find a microphone that I want, let's use my USB mic, and you have to arm the track. And let's say I wanted to play my recorder again. Let's grab my recorder real quick, because I'm going to show you that if you wanted to multi-track on this thing, yeah, you can multi-track. So let's multi-track, and I'm just going to record directly on top of this thing, okay? Let's record directly on top, and here's my recorder. And to record, just hit the record button and improvise if you are an improviser. Here we go. Application error. Client-side exception has occurred. Uh-oh. Let me hit refresh. Don't be alarmed. These things happen. All right. I might have hit the record button one too many times. But just redo that. It'll go back to its original state, and you just hit record, and let's go. So that is the overdub. Now what you can do as a musician, you immediately think left and right, panning for that panning effect. So you could move one of these. Let's make it bigger so you can see what I'm doing. You can move one of these to the left and the second to the right. And when you're playing them back, you're going to have that dual effect. So what I'm hearing here is some additional elements. I can, one more time, add another track. I can select here like that. And I could choose some strings. And I just say nice, lush, viscous strings. Widely panned. I could even say orchestral feel, and say done, and just go ahead and create. And again, when you get your rendered track, you can pan the strings wherever you want. This is the fun that we musicians have, because we know the cause and effect of these DAWs, right? Even though it's not finished, we can get to a pretty satisfactory level of musical performance. We can export it, take it to another DAW, blow it out, get even crazier. So let's see what it has done. Check this out. Wow. So when you finally move this to a different DAW, you could go to town with these strings and move them up and down however you will. Very, very much like a real orchestra. Sounds good. Put in the drums. So this is part of what I'm talking about. This sounds really good, but there's just one thing that I need to sort out, and that is the strings need to be moved more to the, how do I say it, more to the front of the timeline. They are lagging. The strings are lagging. So as a musician, I know exactly what to do. I'm just going to shorten this a little bit. I'm going to hold down Control Z. I'm going to hold the Control key down, and I'm going to, with the Control key held down, I am going to first of all shorten this a little bit, and then I'm going to try my best to move it to sync on the beat. So I can tell that this probably needs to move a few rectangles forward. Let's see how much it needs to move. Let's try and get it caught up. Almost. See? Now we got it. That's it right there. Locked in the groove. Yeah. So we locked it in. So my friends, I hope this has given you an example of the possibilities, because now what you could do, couple of things, you could choose to export this, right? Just export the full song, or you can export the multi-tracks. Let's click on that. Exporting 4 tracks. They may take several minutes. And I mean, you could just go on creating and creating and creating. You can add vocals. But as you're seeing, the layering, right, it's not all going to sync up. You're going to have to do some moving around. You're going to have to be innovative as you use Studio. It's still in its infancy. It's still in beta. As you can see up here, it says beta version 1. So you got to allow it to do a little bit of hallucination, a little bit of artifacting, and it's getting there. And we're part of the pioneers helping it get there. So I celebrate that. You know, I'm quite happy to be part of the first group of people that ever used the tool. I think it's a really awesome tool. It's not exactly there completely, but it's getting there. Okay. Now, what do you do when you have downloaded these things? There's so many things you could do. In addition to downloading all those waveforms, did you know that for like the strings, you can right click on this and you can just click on Get MIDI? Did you know that? So for those of you musicians who are into using MIDI, if I click on Get MIDI, it's going to download the MIDI for whatever instrument I am requesting. So if I'm requesting MIDI for strings, it's going to do that. If I'm requesting MIDI for the percussion, I'm going to get a download pop up here momentarily saying the MIDI file is ready, as you can see. So what I should have done is gone in there and named each track. So I could click on those 3 dots and I could rename this strings, for example, right? Hit rename, and I could do the same for all. So when I'm downloading the stems, right, I know what exactly I'm downloading. But let's click on the zip file when it's finally downloaded. Your zip file of multi-track instruments is going to look like this. It's going to look like this. So as a result of me not naming the tracks, it comes as track 1, 2, and so on. I should have actually named those prior. So let's see if I can do that again, multi-track. And while that's cooking, I'm going to show you a different DAW. This is Mixcraft, right? And for Mixcraft, there is a different layout. Because Mixcraft is what it has been for many years, it's easier to move around, to add your plugins and all that, which you can't do. Same for Logic and Pro Tools. You can kind of run circles around most DAWs by using those alternatives. But if you're using something like Studio, you don't have that much flexibility. But anyway, let's go ahead and let me show you what I'm talking about, because you can just take all of these and move them straight into your DAW once you have extracted them. So I'll have to extract them first. And once they're extracted, then I can just move them like so. Grab them, move them, drop them in there. And you can further manipulate the stems that you got from Studio. This is why I said, if you're not a musician, all this stuff is gobbledygook. For the longest time, just been making your music to make you happy. But now you have to understand a little bit more if you want to play with this stuff. And you got to make sure that everything lines up in your DAW. So I was playing this instrument. So some of these may need a little bit of help. So what can a DAW like this do that the DAW we're coming from cannot? Well, take this track, my recorder track, for example. Let's just put that on solo. I want to show you some things you can't do. So if I wanted to put a big old reverb on my original recorder, I can do that here by putting a plug in. I mean, if I wanted to bathe it ridiculously, I could choose a larger hole. Make it really big. I can put some crazy delays on it. And there are many more plugins and effects that I could use to season this up pretty good. I cannot at the moment do that in Suno Studio. And I'm okay with that, right? Because I've got another way out. But for those of you that don't, you might be just confined to Studio, and it could feel a little bit frustrating. Now, as far as the MIDI files that I've downloaded, I can just drag them in here, plunk them into an instrument channel. So this is showing I've got a couple of MIDIs. I've got acoustic bass and drums. That's what came in the file. So let's go ahead and just mute all these other tracks, and let's listen to what the drums sound like. Now, for this to work, you must select a drum kit from your MIDI sounds in your DAW. So for me, I'm just going to use the casual, simple drums. Any of the drum kits here. Let's check it out. You gotta select the drums. Definitely slower. And then the acoustic, we can now put the acoustic bass on. We got to select an acoustic bass. Search for bass. And let's move it up an octave. Really low. So, I mean, that was pretty much the same sound. It's just that now you're hearing it with MIDI instruments as opposed to those real sounding instruments. But if you had a very good library, for example, that bass, I know it sounded a little bit whack, but if I chose to use my Trilian VST from the good people at Spectrasonics, then everything changes when I get a Laboriel or I get a Jump Paddy Tucci or something else in my extra bass legend. So let's go for Marcus Miller, all fingers, and you can listen to the difference in the bass when it's finally loaded. Various options. Let's go for Finger Funk from Laboriel. Try Jump Paddy Tucci, 6-string funk. Or acoustic bass. That sounds good. good. Yeah. So, my friends, one of the most killer features of Suno Studio is the fact that you can get your drum kit like this drum stem. You've now got that in a MIDI format, and any producer worth his salt knows what to do with that track. If I really wanted to cook this track with a great drum VST, I know what to do with it. Let's make it a bit quicker. Now, let's listen to some of the real instruments. You can blend them. See. Now, if I wanted to make everything fatter, I could put some compression on it. I could doctor it up with some additional EQing. And I'm doing this real quick just for the illustration, but I could blend my drums. Could also add some EQ to my drums here. Okay, then I could bring in my bass. You get what I'm saying? So I took that bass off the Trilian. I should have left the Trilian on. But if I bring back my Trilian and I go for one of those Marcus Miller basses, I'm going to get a much fatter sound than this puny little acoustic. In fact, the John Patitucci bass sounded like light years better. So I could use that if I wanted to keep it acoustic bass. So putting in a fatter bass from the John Patitucci VST, I have some sounding more like. So we got to get the strings locked in a little bit better. And this is what I was saying. For those non-musicians, honestly, it will be very difficult for you to understand what is going on. And even if you do know something weird is going on, the control, you know, being able to control what you're doing could be very limiting. You know, you'd not be able to control what you're doing. So for this, I'm going to try to get the strings to lock in with the drums yet again. You see on the meter, it's where you want it, right there. Bring in the bass. Them a little bit. I want a larger hall for that. So you can hear all the other embellishments I've made. You can also realize that I sacrificed some of the instruments and I went with MIDI instruments instead of the audio instruments, especially the jump-padded Tucci bass. I ditched the bass from the recording and I went with the... Bass is fat. We can make it fatter with this 31 band. Tweak it up a bit. Just a little bit. It's got a nice mid pluck to it as well. So you can hear that second recorder is to the left. I've taken it off the grid just so it doesn't bother too much. And now you can see the evolution from studio, bringing things into this environment, playing with various VSTs. The next thing I'm going to do is mix this down, and then we're going to take it, we're going to have some fun putting it back, but not before I've done a little bit of mastering on it. So we've got this track. I'm going to go ahead, convert it to WAV and take it back into Suno. Then it's going to get really interesting. And before we take it back in to Suno Studio, I'm going to add a little bit of secret seasoning. I'm going to put some vocals in there, and I'm going to use the Waves Harmony plugin, and it's going to give a little bit of a different effect. So let's go ahead. And you could pan this, you could put it in the background so you can get some craziest stuff back from Suno. Very sublime, and just in the background, just to give a little bit of secret seasoning to the final mix, and one more little secret seasoning in there, maybe a lead vocal that has a little bit more higher end frequency. So let's go ahead and have some fun with that. So with that done, we should be ready now, finally, for the mix. All right, now I'm pretty much ready to do the final zap, but I wanted to show those of you who haven't worked on a DAW, there's a very helpful feature in most DAWs. It's the metronome. We've even got one in Studio as well. But when you play the metronome, you know where to cut and where to join. So taking a listen to the end of the song. Hear that metronome? So if I wanted it to start again, I could snap everything on, make sure it's all trim right there, right on top, like that. Everything snapped on 18, like that. Boom, then it is gonna start again. And the way to get it to start again is just copy everything you've got and plonk it there again. So when it so if you want, with everything selected like that, you could skip the dramatic beginning and you could select everything again and close it in, and there you have the seamless. So because we've got such a variety of things, it would be prudent to block some of them in the beginning, like so now we've doubled up the song, we've given it some phasing in of the vocals and of the flute, and now when we mix it down, you've given Suno something a lot better to work with. So now when we go back into Suno, our work in Studio is done. So we're going to change gears and go home, and then we are going to go to Create, and let's close all that. Let's go to where we are experimenting in version 5. So I've got what I was doing in the Mixcraft done. So now I'm going to upload this to Suno. And I just called it Peace on Earth. Let's double click that. Let's hit save. Let's hit cover. And let's hit continue. And when it's all uploaded, it's going to go into the familiar mode in Suno. And there are so many things you could do, coupling that with the philc.net supersizer. I could just do a R&B soul, neo soul, chilled and relaxed, 80 to 100. Let's make it punchy and fat. Well, you know what? Let's try the jazzy swung breakbeat. Muted upright is what it was. Some Rhodes, some jazzy voice-ins, warm analog, and let's make it evolving. Okay, then just hit generate prompt. Then we're going to take this. So I hope you're observing what's going on here. We are combining various elements from Studio to Suno to Mixcraft, using some Trilian, using some of the effects we got in the VST and so on. So the lyrics are just, so we can have instrumental and just peace on earth. Peace on earth. We're going to have that a few times, but I need to put this style in here before I forget. Let's put that in there. Peace, oops, peace on earth. Peace on earth. Get those vocals in there. Peace on earth, peace on earth. And then have some instrumental there. And have some instrumental. So we can say flute. We can give it options is what I'm saying. Like, as opposed to just putting instrumental there, I like giving it an idea of what I'm looking for. And sax. And let's take that. Let's make it a little bit bigger so we can see what we're doing. Okay. And we can say voices, oohs and ahs. And then we can take all this, because we want to really get the best bang for the buck. We don't want it to stop halfway, because you just never know. Sometimes with Suno, we got our prompt in there. Advanced options, we're going to crank the audio all the way up to 100. We're going to leave weirdness in the middle. Style influence is, let's make it 90 just to make sure it all gets the way I like it. This is the way I like it. Okay, peace on earth. And we're just gonna call this version 1. Okay, hit create, and it's like after all your hard work from Studio to Mixcraft, doing all that crazy stuff, when you feed a prompt, an audio prompt like this into Suno, you know that you're going to get great output. It's inevitable at this point. Except you mess up the textual prompt, everything should work out really nice. So let's check it out. All right, let's turn up the volume so you can truly behold the awesomeness of Suno. Suno version 5. It's taking what we got from Studio. We cooked it. Here we go.
Peace on earth.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And you got to remember, it all started with a recorder. It all started with that flute line. So this is the pleasure of building in studio. You build to a crescendo, you add all the secret sauces, you bring it back in, and you give it to the crazy version 5 and see what it does. Check this one out. Hallucination there. Trying to channel my recorder there. So you get the idea. It's very similar to the first one. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go over to persona. I'm going to choose one of my personas, Lorna. And Lorna's voice and the cadence of speech is really, really cool. It fits a lot of what I do. So I'm going to tone down the audio just a bit. I'm also going to pull back on that prompt, and we're going to use the Lorna prompt, and it's got a lot of secret seasoning in there. Let's go ahead and hit create. Let's sit back and let's see what else Suno version 5 can do. I think it's going to give us some surprise here. Give us a good surprise. Because the persona brings something that, like for me, when I save a persona, it's almost a perfect fit for what I want personally. So let's check it out. That's it. Yeah, that's the vibe. That's that vibe. That Philly vibe with those horns. All right, let's check out the final one. I've kept you long enough. Took that recorder line. good. That was really good. And, the pleasure is just seeing how it evolved from a pure little recorder line, and then it evolves and you keep building and building. Suno brought some strings, and then we took it from the DAW back into Suno. That's what makes it an even crazier arrangement to create, take it out of Suno, bring it back into Suno. And I'm just starting, because I've got more ideas of what I'm going to do to this song. And you're going to see it in a few moments. I'm going to show you 3 different interpretations. I'm going to show you something that's more dynamic. I'm going to add some vocals, and I'm going to add some secret seasoning to get Suno version 5 to kick into high performance gear. All right, I'll just let you see the back end of what I'm about to do with my tricky Philly persona. And with this, I am going to put some additional seasoning. I am going to use one of my secret sauces to modify this song a little bit, okay? And this exists in my Gemini Google canvas. So let me bring that up. So this is in my Playhouse. I showed everybody how to build this app in my, can't remember which episode it was. There have been so many of them. But it was one of the episodes that I taught how to build this app. But I'm going to now use the app. I'm going to eat my own dog food. I'm going to use it for my own stuff. So I'll speak the ideas. Peace on earth. Let there be peace in every region, every vicinity. Let people get along. Let people take it easy. Let people take it cool. Let people obey the rules. Let people not do crazy stuff. I'm so sorry. Keep negativity at bay. Keep positivity alive. Peace on earth. I'm so sorry I didn't show you what I was up to. I thought I was showing you what I was doing, and I wasn't. So this is an app I created, right? And the way the app works, you speak your idea into the app, and it generates a song based on the idea. So even though I have this, I also have the original song, which is this. So I have this original song, and I'm going to go into my app and paste what I had from my original song. And I'm going to just cook up something, right? So generate song, and it's going to think, it's going to put all my ideas together. And I've trained it to give me a verse, a chorus, a verse, a chorus, something to that degree. Seems to have done a good job. So this is going to probably be like a mammoth song right here. So let's take it. We call it Peace on Us as opposed to Peace on Earth. So, okay. Let's go in to Suno. Let's get rid of the old song. Let's put in the new song. And the style. Oh, the audio influence, maybe 60s. Style influence, yeah, because I want the persona to be up there, pretty much. And I'm going to give it the exclusions. No instruments, only voice. And let's see if it complies. You just never know. Sometimes it's a toss-up. You just never know with Suno. Sometimes it could hallucinate. Doesn't do it very often. I'll say about 10% of the time. So it's a toss-up. Let's listen to this one.
cherished land we roam, a silent longing calling us to come back home, to simple understanding, letting anger cease, and find the quiet comfort of our inner peace. Let's take it easy, take it cool, and just unwind. Leave all the frantic worries far behind. Oh, peace on earth, let the sweet anthem ring, the joy and solace that His presence brings. Let people get along, let spirits brightly glow, a gentle rhythm, steady, soft and slow. Keep negativity at bay, let shadows fall, bring positivity alive, embracing all. Peace on earth, peace on us, let it be true. No crazy stuff, no hurried, careless strife, just simple moments celebrating life. Let kind intentions pave the path we choose. With honest hearts, we'll never truly lose. Let's just obey the rules, the bonds that make us strong, and share a lovely time where we all truly belong. Peace on earth, let the sweet anthem ring, the joy and solace that His presence brings. Let people get along, let spirits brightly glow, a gentle rhythm, steady, soft and slow. Keep negativity at bay, let shadows fall, bring positivity alive, embracing all. Peace on earth, peace on us, let it be true. Imagine laughter echoing in every street, where diverse cultures find a common beat. A world united, gentle, calm and free, from every mountain to the deepest sea. It starts within each one, a whisper then a shout, turning our inner darkness inside out. Oh, peace on earth, let the sweet anthem ring, the joy and solace that its presence brings. Let people get along, let spirits brightly glow, a gentle rhythm, steady, soft and slow. Keep negativity at bay, let shadows fall, bring positivity alive, embracing all. Peace on earth, peace on us, let it be true. Peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on us. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on us, peace on us. Let there be peace on us. Peace on us. Tree.
That wasn't bad. A little artifacty thing at the end, which can always be cleaned up. Let's check this one out. Okay.
In every region, every cherished land we roam, a silent longing calling us to come back home, to simple understanding, letting anger cease, entwine the quiet comfort of our inner peace. Let's take it easy, take it cool, and just unwind. Leave all the frantic worries far behind. Oh, peace on earth, let the sweet anthem ring, the joy and solace that its presence brings. Let people get along, let spirits brightly glow, a gentle rhythm, steady, soft and slow. Keep negativity at bay, let shadows fall, bring positivity alive, embracing all. Peace on earth, peace on us, let it be true. No crazy stuff, no hurried, careless drive. Just simple moments celebrating life. Let kind intentions pave the path we choose.
All right, my friends, the final bit of secret sauce that I'm going to show you here is what happens when you do an improvised style. So I'm going to crank this a little bit up, and this is going to be Peace on Earth Jazz. And for the style, I'm going to go with 1950s, 60s big band, raspy, jazzy, vocal, duet, and soaring trumpet and sax, huge horn section. And actually, I'm thinking I should make this 80s. The 80s sound still has that analog and not as raw as the 50s and 60s. And that's kind of what I'm going for. Modern jazz chords, syncopated, acoustic bass, tread, drum kit, piano, and I could say background vocals, heavy jazz harmony. All right, I think we're ready to go with this, so let's check it out. And I didn't specify a male or female vocal, so I guess it's going to do whatever it sees fit. And I'm fine with that because I'm on such an experimental trip right now that anything I get, I'm going to run with it. Let's turn the volume up. Volume up. Here we go.
In every region, every cherished land we roam, a silent longing calling us to come back home, to simple understanding, letting anger cease, and find the quiet comfort of our inner peace. Let's take it easy, take it cool, and just unwind. Leave all the frantic worries far behind. Oh, peace on earth. Let the sweet anthem ring. And joy and solace that its presence brings. Let people get along. Let spirits brightly glow. A gentle rhythm, steady, soft and slow. Keep negativity at bay. Let shadows fall. Bring positivity alive and break. Peace on earth, peace on us. Let it be true. No crazy stuff, no hurry, careless drive. Just simple moments celebrating life. strong and share a lovely time where we all truly belong. Oh, peace on earth, let the sweet anthem ring, the joy and solace that its presence brings. Let people get along, let spirits brightly glow. A gentle rhythm, steady, soft and slow. Keep negativity at bay, let shadows fall. Bring positivity alive, embrace peace on earth, peace on us, let it be true. Imagine laughter echoing in every street, where diverse cultures find a common beat. A world united, gentle, calm and free. From every mountain to the deepest sea. It starts within each one, a whisper, then a shout, turning our inner darkness inside out. Oh, peace on earth, let the sweet anthem ring. Peace on earth, let its presence brings. Let people get along, let spirits brightly glow. A gentle rhythm, steady, soft and slow. Keep negativity at bay, let shadows fall. Bring positivity alive, embrace peace on earth, peace on us, let it be true. Peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth. Let there be peace on us. Let there be
That's really nice.
peace.
That's funny. That was nice. And we got one final one. Uh-oh.
Peace on peace on earth. In every region, every cherished land we roam, a silent longing calling us to come back home. To simple understanding, letting anger cease, and find the quiet comfort of our inner peace. Let's take it easy, take it cool, and just unwind. Leave all the frantic worries far behind. Oh, peace on earth, let the sweet anthem ring. The joy and solace that His presence brings. Let people get along, let spirits brightly glow. A gentle rhythm, steady, soft and slow. Keep negativity at bay, let shadow brings positivity alive. Embracing all peace on earth, peace on us, let it be true. No crazy stuff, no hurried, careless strife.
right.
Just simple moments.
So, my friends, over the past number of minutes, we've been playing in Suno. This track is good, but not as masterful as the first. So it's taking a trip to the trash, but it's not a bad one. You know, Suno is so competitive against itself that sometimes you just have to say no. But I will definitely endeavor to put links to these when I eventually roll them out, and you'll be able to go back and listen to the final thing. I usually take them out of Suno, I remaster them, I sometimes remix them, add some other ingredients, and you'll hear it when it's final. But thank you for joining me on this very extensive journey. What I really wanted to illustrate is how professionals could use Studio. It's not just a simple click of the button. When you get into Studio, you got to be ready to go for the long haul. You got to be able to experiment. You got to be ready for things to fail. This recorder lick that formed this song, I recorded it yesterday, and it was a fail when I tried to get Suno to give me tracks to go with it, and I was trying to get more like an Asian vibe for some Chinese music. It didn't work. But that same recorder lick, when I made it in a neo-soul environment, it just worked. And I kept building and building and building. And that's what got us to this song. So with Studio, there are a million ways that you could work. You got to be patient. Patience is key. So thank you very much for joining me on this trip, my friends. We'll let this one take us out. See you soon.